Do you feel like how much of the story we've told so far minimizes your own experiences?
Um, now I'm not ready. See? Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us once again on Sam and Jen Got Divorced. Our marriage didn't work, but maybe our podcast will. We are all about helping people to bounce back from divorce. Today, oh my goodness, I am glad to be in this seat. We have a special guest host with us. She is a friend, a sister. She comes with a lot of wisdom, a lot of life experience, and she is super transparent. And I always, I don't say always, or always a lot, but I always have great conversations with her. And I am so glad you guys get to be present for this conversation today. So join in. We've got Simone Smithson. Yes, say the name. She's going to be our guest host today. Thank you so much for being here with us. She is a creative. She's super talented, has a voice to kill, everybody.
Thanks for having me, guys. I've known you guys for several years, so I'm glad to, just be in a different setting. So today our topic is we remember it differently. So I'm going to ask you a few questions, and I want you to, dig deep into your memory banks.
Oh, Jesus.
All right. So, do you two remember your relationships beginning the same way?
So I think this episode should actually be titled "Samuel Remembers It Correctly" because I'm only half joking when I say that. I do think that we remember it differently, but I also think this is my opinion. I'm not a medical professional, but I do think Genevieve.
No, you're not a medical professional.
I'm definitely not. So in my opinion, I think that Genevieve has blocked parts of this out of our relationship. Understandably so, given how much of our relationship was characterized by my misbehavior, harm, etc. But having said that, I still think that I remember it correctly, as anybody does.
Yeah. So the scientists say that we remember about 20% of the things that we see and the things that we've done accurately. So I'm going to go with what they say.
I'm sorry, the scientists.
As opposed to what you say.
So do the scientists say 100% of people remember it 20%, or is there a curve there?
No, it's definitely a generalization. But when it comes to repeating what we've seen and coming up with reports, yeah, I mean, we don't recall things.
Would
Like you can put 6 people in a row and look at them and be like, oh, how many people were wearing red? And you'd be like 6 of them, and none of them were wearing red. You know what I mean? So our memories aren't as accurate as we think they are. We're quite confident in our own memories, but memory is part fabrication, part feeling, part, I guess, experience, part other people telling you narratives. Now we have a lot of pictures to help us, but generally speaking, we can't rely 100% on our memories.
Yeah, I think this process has definitely caused me to challenge my memory, jokes aside. Like I've definitely realized that some of the things that I was certain I remembered were actually narratives that I'd created and pieces like I had plugged in holes in my memory to suit the story going the way that I thought it had gone.
Yeah. Which is what we do. And I think we do that to our credit as needy individuals, needy human beings. Like we will remember things that we need to remember in order to support our decisions or support the story that best serves us. You know what I mean? So it's like if I remember all of the things that help me support my decision to get a divorce, that makes more sense for me because that's what I need. Yeah. I need to justify my decision, right? So I'll be like, he spat in my face, he dragged me off the bed, he, did all these things. Well, these are all the reasons why I decided to get a divorce, right? So what I need is much different than what you need in the memory. And we'll extract different pieces. And it's like looking at a beach ball. I know a lot of people use the analogy of the beach ball. I look at one side and it's like red and white and green. And you look at one side and it's like yellow and green and blue, or yellow and white and blue. Are any of us wrong in terms of what we're looking at? We're both looking at a beach ball, but we're looking at different sides, different colors.
Yeah.
Right? So I think, part of it is we we remember it differently because we need different things, not that we remember it right.
Right.
Yes.
Did I spit in your face and drag you off the bed?
Yes. See, you don't even
These are
remember
actual
that.
examples of what
Yeah.
happened?
You don't remember that. One night you came home drunk, and we had a rule before we got married, and we said we would never sleep on the couch or not sleep in our bed. We would resolve things. And you came home, you were like, I'm gonna sleep on the couch. And I was like, no, that's not a thing. That's not what we do. And I think it was bothering you. It's like, you have to come to bed, you have to come to bed. And then you spit in my face. And I was like, this Negro did not just let me breathe. That's giving wife of the year energy. Just breathe. And I was like, honey. Yeah, that's the thing. I was pissed. I was pissed.
I'm sorry. Sincere apologies. I believe you. I don't remember it, but doesn't change the impact of my actions. So I
not at the time.
apologize.
At the time I was pissed. I look back now and I can recognize what you were lucid for, and a lot of times what you were not present for. So it's not to excuse behavior at all, but just to recognize the source of that behavior, where it comes from, right? Because it matters if you did things on purpose, intentionally, to maliciously hurt me, versus you did things because you were absent-minded, you didn't know, you didn't have the skill. It makes a difference in how I internalize the actions, the behaviors, or the treatment. Because if you did it maliciously, I'm pissed. If you didn't do it maliciously, I'm still pissed. But there's a little bit, there's a little bit of grace. There's more room for forgiveness, So.
I feel like we didn't answer your question.
Sorry.
Well, essentially you did, because it was due to remember your relationships beginning the same way. So you pretty much touched on why you probably wouldn't remember it the same way.
Yeah.
Because
we definitely didn't answer the question because he was trying to figure out whether or not he was right.
then you went
So
in
I
a
don't
certain
know if we
direction.
derailed. And this was the whole problem, within our marriage.
Was that I was right?
Figuring out,
acknowledge.
He's trying to prove whether or not he's right. He's trying to figure out, how do I make myself right, and not deal with what's happening, not answer the proper question. No, I'm kidding. Yes, we definitely remember it differently. And I would say that we were both right in that it's not a matter of the memory, it's about the meaning.
But the question specifically is about how we met or when we met?
Just how you remember the relationship beginning.
Beginning, okay, yes. Yeah. So we've talked about this.
Yeah.
I
have a memory.
Part of the memory piece is the fact that I was the man, so I was responsible for initiating. So there was, I think, a portion of time where, from my perspective, I was moving things along, and Genevieve was just like, "Oh, what a nice friend! He wants to, he wants us to go to eat some food. That's nice.
That's true.
What a caring gentleman friend this is, right?
That's true.
And I'm like, okay, we're on date 3.
You're being intentional.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whole different world.
Yeah.
That's very true. That is very true. And sometimes I'm kind of oblivious. And I grew up around males, and I have male friends, and I don't always assume that they're interested romantically. And to be honest, you weren't giving romantic energy. You were just like, hey, let's go hang out. Let's grab a bite to eat. So there was nothing for me to, take as a cue. Like you didn't say anything explicitly. There were no, and I guess when it comes to just honor and integrity and so on, no sexual or affectionate, anything like that. So that's why I would never read into it.
Fair.
But I do remember a conversation that we had on that bus to the One Thing conference, and you held my hand, and I was like, "What? What's happening here? Did I miss something?" And then you were talking about relationship and going forward and the future, and I was like, this is a thing. So something shifted for me on that bus ride, and we were on that bus was
24 hours maybe.
It was a 24-hour bus ride. Yeah, it was from here
a long
to
conversation.
Tulsa. No, where was it?
From Toronto to Kansas
to
City.
Kansas.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Wow,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
And we chatted, we talked, and
Were you on that trip with us?
No,
No,
but
okay.
you
I
came one
was
time.
I never made
Not to
it.
Kansas? Oh, maybe you came. It wasn't that trip?
No.
You can talk. It's okay.
It wasn't that trip.
Okay.
That you guys were already together when we flew down.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
I definitely didn't.
Yeah, it was wild. It was wild. The things
Yeah.
you do.
Our producer, Kalenia, is saying that she did not come on that trip because taking a 24-hour bus ride to Kansas City
beneath
is
her.
crazy work. Yeah.
Crazy. Well, she did come. You did come on the trip because I remember you and
We
Candy.
flew
Who
there.
you guys flew?
They flew the next
flew,
year. Yeah. Was it the same year or the next year you flew? Because I think
it was the same year.
I remember us.
It was the next
I remember
time.
the
Was the
four. I
next
remember.
time? Okay.
I remember sharing a room with Kalenia, and then
Yeah.
and another friend was there, and I remember us sneaking away to have sex. So we must have been married.
Must have been married.
We must have been married.
Because
Yeah.
we didn't do any of that.
Exactly.
We did everything
that was
right,
a
you
year after.
guys. We did. We didn't even kiss until our wedding day.
Yeah.
Kudos. Such a mess. Okay.
Memories.
Yeah.
Whoa. Yes.
Wow.
That's funny. Yeah, so we definitely don't remember the beginning stages differently. I didn't clue in until that. I remember that bus ride and I was just like, whoa, it was a shift. But like you said, there were a lot of things happening before that.
I'm like, this is our 10th day. What's the what? Like,
Sam
why
was
are you
the only one
surprised
who knew
that
about
we're holding
days.
hands?
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It was wild.
Okay. That kind of answers the next question about can you think of a moment you remember differently?
Oh, so
Ties
many
in.
moments.
Yeah.
So many moments. I have a couple that stand out. One was this is crazy. So when we got engaged, City TV happened to be present. They captured the engagement and they posted it on 6 o'clock news. We kept in touch with the young lady whose segment we were on. And after our wedding, we did like a mini honeymoon to Thousand Islands. And we we had a good time. We went on the boat ride and, stayed out there and we did like the rides. And I remember we were on a ski lift. It was like a ski lift ride type of thing. And Sam was like, oh, let's take pictures. Let's take pictures. We're going to send them to her so that she can get the post, after the engagement and after the wedding and she can have all, and he was like in bliss and he was like, oh my God, pictures and whatever. And I remember being on that ski lift thinking to myself, what in the world have I done? Like, what have I gotten myself into? Like, oh my gosh. I was having so much doubt and regret on that ski lift. And I remember looking at the picture after, which we did send to her. And she posted it on the news. She posted it on City TV and she's like, update, this couple, they got engaged, a year and a half ago or whatever, a year ago. And now here they are enjoying their honeymoon. And I just remember feeling fear and dread and doubt in that moment. I look back at the picture and I can feel it again. And so I know we remember that differently.
I don't remember that moment. So,
you don't remember the
so
moment
we do
at
remember
all.
it differently.
So yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a lot. And then another moment, I don't know if you remember this, for your birthday.
We'll see.
Oh
I don't know the moment yet.
So for his birthday, I decided that I was going to create a wonderful, fantastic, Pinterest-worthy, beautiful, awesome basket of all the things that he loves. I had basketball DVDs. I had candy. I had I had all the little trinkets, all the things. And then I had a nice card. It was super heartfelt. I made him his favorite breakfast, ackee and saltfish, fried dumpling, all the things. And I presented him with this basket. This guy barely looked at the basket, barely glanced at the basket. Didn't bother reading the card. And somebody asked him later, how was your birthday? He was like, oh yeah, I was low key and chill. I was like, low key and chill? How you I slaved over this basket. It was giving wife of the year energy. This basket was epic. Okay. And he was just like, yeah, whatever. He was just like, yeah, Jen did something, it was whatever. And I was like, oh my God, this is a moment for me to show up. You know what I mean? And all of my wifedom and wife glory. So we definitely remember that differently because I was yeah, I thought it was the most epic thing. And he was just like, yeah, no, this is whatever.
So How can you respond to that? What do you remember about the basket and everything surrounding it and how she felt presenting it to you? How did you feel? What was your experience around surrounding this basket?
Yeah.
I really appreciate how you're trying to keep the judgment out of your voice in the way that you're communicating. You're doing such a good
No,
job.
I'm genuinely curious. Because sometimes I just really want to know what's going through a person's mind
Right.
when
Yeah.
another person's having a whole situation, the other person just like, meh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it was like.
It for me, I think it's a love language thing. Like at the time,
Mm.
I genuinely just didn't notice that the basket was anything special because
Yo, if I showed you a picture of this basket, guys, I'm gonna post a picture of this basket.
do you still have pictures of
I
it?
have a picture of the basket. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm sure it was a lovely basket.
It
No,
was epic.
yeah.
It deserved its own Pinterest page.
The fact that I didn't know that I didn't properly give the basket the recognition that it was due, from my perspective, was a matter of we weren't speaking the same language. It's like if somebody you're walking in a crowded group of people and somebody's speaking a language you don't speak, Tagalog, Filipino, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to pay as much attention because it's not your language.
Yeah.
So that's all. Or if she had been using acts of service on my birthday in a different way, I would have remembered that birthday in a completely different way.
Mm-hmm.
But whereas she was speaking gifts, which is a beautiful thing, I didn't speak gifts at the time. So I didn't notice how great that basket was, how much effort she'd put in, how much thought she'd put in, how much time she'd put in, which is unfortunate.
Wow, it's really good to hear though from your side because we're having a whole experience on one side and you're just like, that's a different language. It's just like,
yeah, it didn't translate the same,
did
the
not
way
count.
that I intended or that I thought it would, for sure. And I think that speaks volumes to even how we build memories, what's important for us. Yeah, we're going to remember and pay attention to the things that are important to us, right? So, selective memory.
Yeah.
Right.
So how would you say that these different memories shaped how you see the past?
I think memories are kind of like pictures. When I don't know, if I try to describe like a memory, like it's like a flash, it's like an image of a moment in time. And looking at the past, the memories allow for me to be whoever I want to be, really. They allow for me to frame the story in a way that best suits me now, like in the present. So I look back and I can be the victim, I can be the overcomer, I can be the fixer, I can be, whoever I decide to cast myself as in the memory. Right. And all of those roles are up for grabs in the picture, in the memory. You know what I mean? And it reminds me of Inside Out in a way, like the Inside Out the movie, where it talks about like all the emotions. Like every memory has a little bit of every emotion depending on how you twist it, turn it, or look at it, you can see that one prevalent or dominant emotion. Right. And so I think memories are very much like that for me. How it shaped, how it would have shaped my present 2 years ago would be different than how it would shape my present today, because I need different things. Right. I'm in a different space. We're in a different, type of relationship. And I wouldn't need to look back and see myself as, the one who got dragged off the bed versus the one who got up. You know what I mean? Right. Those are two different things. Same situation, but I look back on it and be like, man, I got dragged. Oh, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm so sad or mad about that. Versus, nah, I got up and here I am today. You know what I mean? That's more of an empowering position. So I think the way that I use the memories today, given our current, our current space, is in an empowering way, right? And in a self-validating way. So I use them to remind myself of where I've come from and how much work I've put in to get here, versus, oh my God, look how much I've been through. Like, you know what I mean? It helps pick me up and propel me forward, as opposed to like, keep me sort of stuck in the idea that I had to deal with or handle or go through, all the things. I think it's the difference between, I'm a survivor versus I'm a, what's the other
Overcomer?
one? Overcomer? No, I
Victor.
don't remember. There's like I can't remember. It's like you're not a survivor, but you're
Thriver.
a thriver, something like that. Yeah. So, yeah, I think the roles are different, based on memories.
And
That's
I
how
want
associate
to,
with past.
sorry to cut you, but to bring you back to what you guys previously discussed with the gift basket, the Pinterest basket situation.
Right.
So now that you guys
Call it what it is.
Yeah, right?
Now that you guys have discussed how for you it was like the biggest event, like you were showing love, you put your all into it, you poured out. And on your side, it was like, I don't speak that language. So how would that shape how you see the past now? Like, have there been other occurrences where you poured out all your love in a way where you presented a gift and he did not receive it well? Could you say, oh, that's connected to the same kind of experience, that we weren't speaking the same language? So
Absolutely. Yeah, I could definitely see it that way. Is it going to change? No. I'm still going to do the basket. I'm still
Right.
and I'm going to have a lot of fun doing it. I'm like, oh, this is epic. And whether or not you choose to see it, that's on you. You know what I mean? That's it's your problem and your fault and your issue. And I'm so sorry that you can't see the epicness that's before you. I'm so it's actually, I feel sorry for you. Actually, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's really sad.
It's actually really sad.
Yeah, really sad.
Oh my goodness. See, now I see it differently.
My life.
See it differently.
We
I have compassion.
Yeah.
I have compassion right now. I'm like, oh my goodness, to live in a world where you miss the epicness of the.
Are you crying right now?
I'm so sorry. Can I just get a tissue? I'm so sorry. Oh no, I'm joking. I'm kidding.
That's hilarious.
No, but part of it, part of it is true.
It sounds like it was a really special basket, and I'm sorry that I.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm gonna do a gift, I'm gonna do a little, whatever. I'm gonna do it out of my heart.
And Genevieve loves big and does big and acts big in a way that I think is amazing. I genuinely, if I wish that I had processed the basket differently, because it's not nice when you do something for somebody. We both had that experience where we did things for each other. It wasn't received the way we wanted. So yeah, I would 100% have rather have made her feel special and felt special in the way that she wanted.
Wow. So, do your separate memories help or make healing harder?
I think that's a function of our own growth. It almost feels like separate memories are inevitable, really. Like, I think that a lot of couples or divorced couples struggle with that because they're like, you did this. No, you did that. No, I did this. That's a very common interaction. So it would be ideal if we remembered everything the exact same way with the same lens, but I don't think that's realistic. I think more realistic is the fact that because we're healthier people now, we're able to take a step back and take the emotion out of it. We're healthier and time has passed. We've had a chance to process. So whereas before I might be angry about my recollection of a situation, now I'm like, that happened. I'm able to observe it mindfully without the same level of judgment, or be more constructively critical of my own behavior and how I showed up at that time. So I think it's less about the different memories. Again, ideally they'd be the same, but understanding that memories are always different. Two people never remember things exactly the same way. I'm just grateful now that it's been really healing to hear things like the way that I've treated Genevieve and to be able to level set and say, wow, do I still have to work on this? Have I grown on this? How can I make amends now towards you or other people? I think it's easier now, which kind of sucks because it's been so long. Genevieve has had to process and heal some of these things on her own. She's had to carry these memories that I never knew existed, right? But again, I think that's just the way that memory works and experience works.
Yeah, and I think, to your point, what helps make memory, say the question again. So either what helps make healing, easier?
Well, do your separate memories help or make the healing harder?
Harder, right. So yeah, I was gonna say, to your point, like, if you have the more knowledge you have, is the better able you are to heal. Right. So the more access you have to memory, privy to the other person's memories as well as your own, is actually the more capacity you have for healing to happen. If you don't know, then how do you heal from it? Right. You know what I mean? So I think my own memories, of course, would make it easier to heal. I was there. I was present. He's not there to refute my memories. Like, no, that didn't happen. No, I know what happened. I felt it, and I had to decide that I was going to heal from it. Do his memories about what was going on sometimes, do they have the potential to invalidate my pain and my own memories? Yes. However, it is my choice. So when Samuel shows up and he's like, oh, I struggled with addiction, and I had some anger issues. So hearing him say that, I know that he is dealing with his own healing journey. And for him, the way to do that, he has to put himself in his own memories in a position to be empowered. It can translate to, wait a minute, we're not fully capturing what that was like for me. Like, right. You dealing with your addiction and having anger issues. No, I was like terrified. Like, and you know what I mean? So the effect can be, if you are seeing your memories and shaping your past in a way that puts you in an empowered position, it can look like or feel like an invalidating to someone else's memories. But I've already done my work. So do I want him to see himself as someone who can overcome, who can you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yes. And so he has to go back and reframe things in that way. And sometimes it can look like minimizing, but over time, I think we peel back layers and reveal more. And the more we reveal is the more we heal. Right. And as much as he can reveal now is as much as he can heal now. Right. So the more that happens, I'm saying right, but I'm saying the statement. The more that happens is the more healing that can happen. And part of it for me now is still having to tell the story in a way that, I'm still like a holder of the secrets, so to speak. Like, we still have to tell the story in a way that honors where Samuel is at in terms of his desire to, or willingness to, share and reveal, right? Because I'm not going to blow up his spot and be like, I'm telling his story. I'm not going to do that. But sometimes telling part of my story is exactly telling his story, Wow, yeah. So
do you feel like the way that, like, the degree of which, do you feel like how much of the story we've told so far minimizes your own experiences? Thank you all for joining us today. Make sure, if you haven't, that you like, follow, share, subscribe. We'd love to have you, and we'll see you again soon.